All right, July 20th, we are back. It is Monday in the stock market, an interesting day. A lot of good moves today. Let's take a look first at Dow Jones. Dow Jones was up 27.61, S&P 29.13, NASDAQ 269.26 was a beast. Small caps down 10.42. VIX minus 1112, it's at 24.56. Commodities, gold 18.18, silver's 20.30, crude oil's 40.80. So move up today. Here's the Dow Jones. We're pulling back, and it held this at 25,000 today, so we're very high up stochastics. We'll see if this wants to go down or break back up. So that is the question on that. NASDAQ has been a beast. Look at this channel since March. If you were in here, you know, you're killing right now. Took off this red candle, hammered it out, 10,005, back and forth, and today it was a massive move. And we are at all-time highs? 10,824, close. We're getting close. So, you know, this is what it is. As long as you keep playing this channel, unless we get some sort of breakdown, it's going to keep going right now. Coronavirus is out of control. People working from home. So that's what it is right now. Got a SPY. SPY has broken out of this trend line. You have 1, 2, 3 touches. It's above 320. Above this line, which was 323.41. So very high up here in stochastics. You know, any bad news, this will bring this probably down. Probably bring it down to maybe 315, but it's still going right now. And then we have 100% retracement near 340. So that's where we are on the SPY. All right, let's take a look at the top gainers. Here is TNXP, 257 million today. This is a terrible stock. Look at this, all jaggedy, big moves up, big moves down, you know, gaps. It's a pretty crazy move, but it pretty held steady since March, and then volume was picking up. That's your first clue. Look at volume. See down here when you see volume, it really didn't do nothing here, and then right here started to go up. And then the 5-minute pre-market start to move 5 a.m. Then you had your high today, draw your line. It broke over. So you had like 110. You know, keep your stop, wherever you keep your stop. Came back a little bit though, but it did hold. It did hold right here. Don't get panicky. If you're in at 110 and it goes to 106, it's 4 cents, don't panic. And then it broke out over 120 all the way to 180 and pulled back today. So this is really a strong move on this stock. Let me see, was there news on that? Let's see here. Trying to look for news. Let's see here. Computer's frozen here. Let's see, is there any news here? Tonic announces collaboration to develop precision medicine techniques for COVID-19 vaccines and therapeutics. So there it is, COVID-19. All right, IMRN. Let's take a look once again, TNXP, the daily chart. And you know, you see here, where's your lines going to be? Probably this 2 line, because you see that 2 fell, and that came close. And tomorrow, who knows? This could go higher. You never know with these things. Could be an offering, could be this. You don't know. And this ain't the best chart to go by. IMRN. This was a previous mover on 6.9. And you can draw here. I drew 1 line. This is really a wedge. This is a tight wedge breakout. Let's see right here. It is right there. See it? Look at the triangle. Getting tighter, and then it broke out today. Look at the volume here. All this volume here was consolidation volume. And eventually on these, they break out again when it's like that. This put in 67.2 million. And let's go to this is the 5-minute. So you had your move pre-market. pre-market's always a good sign to see what's going to happen here. You had to move up to 1453, came back down, and then draw your line here. So this, try to get over here. I would say over 11. Once it started to get over 11, we draw it here. Right over 11 here, then kept going up. Then that's the sign here. Look at the volume. You have very strong volume. And then this made it all the way to a high of 1953, then pulled back to 17. Then, you know, chopped around, then another move, then faded again. But it was a good long. There's some good longs today for this. What was the news on this? IMRN limit receives FDA guidance on clinical development plans for new oral therapeutics. That was another good news. And afloat, TNXP. I had 52 million, and on IMRN I have 3.47 million in trade ideas. Now this is nothing. IBIO. There's the daily chart. Move up, you draw a triangle here. It kept going high. Look at the lows, and the lows kept getting higher every time. And look at the volume, all these white bars. They always were higher than the days were down. So that's a sign you know this stock is going to eventually keep going. It's always a positive sign. And you can look here, once this made this big candle, and then that's an inside candle, and this took off. So we had a move here too. This is another one. Draw your line here, pretty similar. Draw it here, and you have over 475. And then came back, this big candle here. You can draw another line too. If it breaks that, didn't break that, so that's a good trend line. Went all the way up to this cross, 7 plus, near 725. So this was another good long. And this was a good long pre-market to throughout the day. So that's a good sign for small caps. What was the news on this? Anything? Stock soars. Recover, blah, blah, blah. What's the news here? IBIO. I'm looking for the news. Markets once are emerging technologies, revenue COVID-19 impact, crucial players. Probably something with COVID-19. I don't have to look at this point most times, but this is another great long. JE. Energy penny stock. I don't really play these no more. Set a channel, broke up, came back down, and then it's getting a fake out here. So, and then that's great buying time. 120 million, got to that 75 cent plus. But VRQS, it's broke over 130, kept going lower, the highs. The lows kept getting higher. I mean, it's getting higher, and this broke all the way up to 170 and then dropped. So a lot of times you'll get both ways. You get a long and a short on that. So DPW, this is a pre-market. Taking it to 3 minute, right over 350 right here. And then another move over 425 and got as high as 539, and we dropped off. And then people thought it was a short. You draw your line here, but they broke above 425. It's pretty much a double top here. Once this couldn't hold, and it faded all day fader. So there's some good points in this pre-market and intraday. And this did this before too, so that's a clue. This did this right at about 475. That filled candle, then faded down, held 2, and broke up today again. So it's definitely a double top. And this is a spiker. Look at the volume, the weight. Big spike, nothing. Big spike, nothing. Big spike, nothing. And then another big spike and nothing. So that every stock has its personality, and that's what it's doing right now. OGN, 125. This was nice, all the way to 175. ADMP, not a bad long. Draw your trend line here. Pretty much held all day. 28 million in volume. See, there was a falling wedge that broke out and it turned up. HTBX, this has been a beast. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 candles on fire. Like over 100 million. Look at the volume here. So this is what I mean, where it can go, stock can go 5 days. What's this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Really, this was this is almost 6 days. That was an inside candle. Look how low the volume is. So this has been incredible. This is over 275 right here. Came back and held, and then got above 3. Draw your line here. It's really symmetrical. 3 and took off the near 4. So this was a strong stock. EDSB. Get some big candles here. This is going up too. It's really holding. A lot of these stocks are holding on the days that are down. They're not really going down, some of them, so it's very hard to short them. AKER. This is a breakout. And then you have about 565 to 6. So that's not a bad play there. INMB, was this a former runner? Yes. Went up, came back down, and then we went up again today. This is good, right over, this is right over 12, right over 1250. 14 is a nice long. And my list here is a top 20. There's so many stocks now, it's way too much to look at. I'm trying to narrow it down. Even though stocks below it are good too. PTE. This is a channel broke. You have a big open gap here. Looks like we're going to try to enter it. Try to get above 2. Watch that. ONTX. This is at 109. VTGN, no interest in that. DQ, no real interest. CG, nothing. AIM. AIM was interesting because we had this before. We said, watch the 350 line. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 times, and then it broke up again. Look at this. And good volume here. All these days, the volume, look at the white bars, they've been strong. So this stock has continually been strong for months, almost like 6 months now. So, and this made it, and it held pretty good around 4. Get the double top. JMIA, another one. Look, ever since this was on that run down for months, almost a year, the lows getting higher each time with this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clusters. It could have come all the way back to this line, possibly. But right now it's hot. And right now it is, you got to move over 775, 8, all the way to 950 plus, and it's another strong long. So that is the top list here. So on the top list, you had some COVID news. I'm looking at my trade ideas, the top, I think like the top 50. There's so many stocks under $20. So small caps are really pretty much continuing their dominance. So let's take a look at some ETFs, UDOW. And UDOW, this was a struggle all day. Because in that, Dow Jones was only up 892. And this is a classic pattern. A lot of these ETF patterns are great to learn. And, you know, they're moving in chunks, like 25. Hammer candle, second hammer candle, you're long 68.25, and it took off near 70. So it was a great long. Daily chart, it's hugging that 38.2 fibs. We're getting high on stochastics. If this comes back maybe to 66, we'll see. SPXL is the SPY. You have 50% retracement level cut over. What's the high on this candle? That was 48.57, 48.68. So we breached that now. We're ahead of that, and that was that move back in June, that big move. So off the low of 629, we've been on a nice run here. Very choppy, and we're high up in stochastic. So another pullback would be nice. If we could pull back to, I don't know, maybe 44. We'll see what happens with that. We're still going though. Intraday, here's your first candle. Always let a few candles come in. Have a pattern. I mean, less this, you're buying momentum. This is at 47.25, came back down, 46.75. Okay, we're going here. We're moving between these two quarters. That's why I love playing these. You're playing quarters. They're a lot of times they're easier to trade than small caps. I mean, some people are real good at trading small caps, but small caps will jag, jag you around because of the, it's like $1 and $1.50. You can move very fast. It depends on the stock, but these are really good too. These are like easy gainers. So you have a move here, and you're watching it, and you see this candle here. That's your move, 47. And see this low, if you're getting in on the next candle, 47, it touched. A lot of times they won't touch. It'll touch 47.05, 47.01, 2, 3, 4. So I've been trying to put out orders within that 5 cents because they won't bring it to the exact like quarter line. It's a weird thing. I don't know if that's algorithms, ETFs, just because of that, but really strange. But this, look at this, move over 47, touch 47.75. It was drifting here back and forth, and then it took off late. So this is another great long. This could have been over almost like a $2 gain. All right, TQQQ. I keep wanting to trade this, and I'm like looking at other stuff. I don't know why. Look at this candle today. This candle was a huge candle. We're testing that your 100% retracement from that previous candle now. I moved it up from here because that is done. And now I'm just going by, this previous high now because it's crazy. The way this is running is insane. And look at this. This is a home run trade if you catch this. So I was looking at small caps too much. And I was glancing at my the NASDAQ. I'm like, yeah, it's running, and then you don't realize looking at, NASDAQ was up 2.51% today. It's crazy. So in this, let's go to the 3 minute, even the 2 minute. Try not to use the 2 or 1 minute, 1 or 2 minute. You have, a stack in here, a sideways stack after you have red candles is usually bullish, depends, but it's dropped, red to green. We got the 113, and then look what happens here. This takes off all the way to 121. So you have a lot of entries here, a lot of the ways up here. You have a 3 minute, and you have over 113. Again, is a great entry. Now, this is $1. You can keep it to 50 cents or $1. And then you have another move over here, 116. You go to the 5 minute. You have 112, and then you have 113 again. Now on these, on the 113 line, this came all the way down to 36. That's a lot. Well, for 100 stock, it's not. It's a 64-cent loss if you're down. If this goes and comes back. So, but on this, I'm not playing that many shares. I'm probably playing what, like 400. 3 times 400. About 400. I try to keep my loss right now. My max loss 500. That's if like everything would go wrong. 300 is my normal max, and then I work within there. So if I'm buying anything and I'm like down 200, that's all right because I try to stay within that 300 level. So, but this, look at this, 113. This is so clean. This is a little pullback. Look at the volume here. It's less. Draw your lines like a little flag here, and then burst up again. And this move was 112.8. It's like a $9 move. The NASDAQ is so strong right now. I would keep this on my radar. Any pullbacks, like look at this, pullback, bought. Little here, 2 candles back and forth, bought. Now if we get up here, we double top and we come back down, I'm gonna buy it again. All right, TNA. TNA was choppy. Small caps are down for some reason, and this would have chopped you all over, maybe bought, quick gain, but on the daily chart, you had the breakout, nice gap, and it's back and forth now. So we're very high up. This could pull back, so we'll see on that on TNA. FAS, this is hovering here. Did the breakout too. This is back and forth. Look at stochastic, it's very high. Remember, stochastic's going to buy low, sell high. So I don't really like it up here, even though it can keep going. Did here, but the way everything's going in the stock market is very choppy here. Soxol, This is another nice one. This is semiconductors. And look at the low each time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Almost like 7 buys down here. Draw your line here. The volume's getting lower each time. So I forget if that's good or bad, actually. The volume, you have burst up. When it's low, then see that it came way up here because that was because of the drop. But it's more steady, I would say. All right, here's a 5-minute. Let's get a 3-minute. You have 206 here, and look at how this held. This pretty much held this 204 line and back and forth. You want to bring it to a dollar line. See, a dollar, it's too tight. Even that line, it's not that big of a line. The way these are moving. So you have your 206 line, and look, what's your next line? 208. So when easy, you're playing the dip here, you're playing, or even these candles, you're playing that 206, you're playing 208. And then this took off too. Look at it. This went to 220. That's a $14 gain. So 208 times. Let me see. 208 times 200. 208 times. Trying to figure something here. Times 175. Here, 200. We'll say 200. And this goes $12 gain. That's 2,400 on 200 shares. You don't even a lot of shares there. Although it's higher priced. You know, it'll be like 41 grand. But it doesn't matter the share size. So that's another one. Stockstill has been a beast. It's approaching 61.8 fibs. Then you have this big open gap towards like 283. And actually, if you draw a line here, it's been in pretty much a channel. You go here a little bit wider maybe, but it's riding high each time. So strong. LABU. This is bio because all the Corona. Biotech's been incredible. This was down near 14. Now it's there 72. And this was tougher to trade. These are huge candles. This is like taking over a $1 this big candle. I don't really like that. You want smaller, in-range candles. And Nougat was nice over 92. See what I mean here? 92.05. It didn't bring to that 92 line on Nougat. And this is still, yeah, a little pullback here, but it fought it off well. Look at that. And it's still going. So Nougat's been strong. JNUG, same thing, a great long. UCO. UCO is a nice pattern to learn from too. Either red, bounce back at the open, hammer candle, wait for a pattern, and red, and watch what it does. Red, red, huge hammer candle reversal. Pushed all the way down on this to 29.57, and look, starts going up. As soon as you see that, you just recognize the candle. You go in, 29.75. You can even wait for another candle right here. On these lines, it's a big quarter line. That's a big separation. Play in between. You play, what's 30 plus 29.75, 59.75. I mean, 75 divided by 2, excuse me. So it'd be 37, which would be in between 30 and 29. 75 would be 87. So play in between these two. And this took off. This was nice too. This is long oil, which is long crude. ERX. This is a nice move too. You had a big move up. People got stopped out right here. So you can't buy at the open most of the time. Then we went all the way down. Stacked. Next line's your 1370. And we get to a 14. Wasn't a great gain, but it was a solid enough. And that defend. This is really doing nothing. We had a breakout, pull back here. We're crossing down, so this might come back to this line again. And this was a nice long trade you had over, actually it wasn't, 1135. I mean, it's sort of a fake out. Although 1135 and it 25 is your stop, because this was the first move in the beginning of the morning. 1125. It did break out further to 1165, so it could have been like a 30-cent move, not a lot. But see, if you're buying here, 35 and 25, so this is going to stop you out. If you're going big size, so that was a tougher move there. VIN, too choppy, not great volume. Now, not really great volume here. A little move here. What was the volume today? 1.1 million, not that great. Little pullback hammer candle here. So goes in on that. The VIX. The VIX is breaking down. Like I said, it was in between this 35-25 range or 30 range. Now we're going down again. We're down 4.75%. So this is really falling down here. UVXY. This is another one. We had the break. This is a fake breakout on rising falling wedge. Big candle here. This was a really weird movement. Big candle. You see, oh, we're going to keep going. Then it faked, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles down. And this is looking for 25. This has been as low as it's been since, you know, this candle here was back in June. So you got to move this up now. So we'll take that out. That wedge is done. Make a move here. So you have a candle, so it has to really get back over that line. I mean, it's very oversold. We get a bounce up again. We'll see on that. So that's on UVXY. Let's take a look at some of the airlines. You have HA. There is the fake breakout here on the falling wedge. Touching it. We'll see now. This is line 2, 3, 4. We have a line. Can we bounce up here? I'm thinking we might, or this might come a little bit lower. What else do we have? AAL, American, same type of pattern. JetBlue, same thing. This might go back to 23.6 fibs. Alaska Airlines. We'll take that out. Kind of move up. It's fake breakout. It was more of a gap up, 1 day break, and then it's pulling back. So we're getting chopped around here a little bit. Let's see what happens with that. Restaurants, then again, this was a beautiful candle here. Then we're just pulling back. Although, see, it's lower volume, so we'll see. This might do one of these moves and some sort of breakout again. We'll see on that. Ruth, same thing. This is going here, and then there's chopping. Norwegian. It's just testing that line. It's below it now. This was holding. It did go below it a few times, so we'll see on that. Cook. Carnival. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. We'll see if that line holds there. They're pulling back. RCL, not less of a pullback. CCL. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's holding too. So they're all pulling back. We'll see what they do if they get a bounce here soon. Some financials, MFA. There's pretty much doing nothing. IDR. Call. They're pretty much flat going sideways. So a lot of the what else we have? The wind. The single casinos. You had a bounce. Double bottom here, bounced again. We're pulling back again. This was high up, so remember. So if I was down here, and you always want to buy in stochastics, that's extremely low. It's a great buy. Maybe you can sell here, then buy that. So that was win. LBS. Again, here's the buy because you're so oversold. Here and here. So it's like right in between them days. Then we had the breakout. and a pullback, then yet another buy again, and then pull back again. And this is very high up. I don't know how far we'll pull back. We might go to, could come to this 45 line, because all these are getting higher, these lows pretty much. Even though this is like far away from this line. So we'll see if we come back to the 45 line, because this is oversold now. It's overbought. It can stay overbought. We'll see if this pulls all the way back in now. But that's how you play stochastics. So you're playing it, you want to play it at the lowest level possible. Like this was here, and then it came back here again. It was like a double bottom, and then it took off. So you can play it 20 to 80. 10 to 90 is even better if you get below that. So that's casino. So we had small caps move again today. Some good ETFs, UDOW, UPRO, SPXL, TQQQ. The Nasdaq's on fire. TNA was choppy. They were down today. BAS, not really much. Softsold, the semis were good. Nugent and JNUC, strong. UCO, crude, good. Nice long. And let me see some of the bearish ETFs, like Estelle. Estelle's is hovering here. It's getting oversold again here. But it's always oversold for the most part, because if the stock market is doing pretty good, that was a nice short all day. So they're pretty much short right now. The market's pretty good. So looking for tomorrow, we'll see. TQQ continue to run. It might be a little pullback, who knows. The VIX, it's been bouncing, so we're down to 25. It's going to get a 20 tomorrow, maybe, or we might break back up. We'll see in here, because everything's very day-to-day volatile at this point. You still got your small caps that are running great. They've been taking over leadership pretty much, and all the cyclicals have been back and forth. They're in a little bit of downtrend now. We'll see what happens with them. ALK. See, we're up here, and all the buys. See, again, that's why you can play swings on stochastics, depending on the market, not like this. So it's oversold this whole time. It's wait for a bounce, and this was like a jagged. It didn't reach full length all the way up here, and this one was another bottom, and all the way up. You can buy a dip from here, and then right here was nice. It didn't move that much on this one, and then it moved again. See it here, crossover. Sometimes they just don't go straight up like this. That was a straight up move on stochastic. You'll bend sometimes. Like this one was a jagged move all the way up. This was a straight up. This was a little better. This had 1, 2, and then we'll see what happens here. We'll see if we go here and then pull back up. So we'll see on that. All right, so that's it for today. Please subscribe to the channel, and we will be back tomorrow. And that's it. Take care.